Guys, my name is Engracia and I'm all the way from the Northern Cape. I'm from a small place called Dalpratuop. And I'm sure you guys can already figure out by my accent that I'm colored. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to doing this interview with you guys. There's not really much to say about myself other than that I'm a very bubbly person. And yeah, my high school life was really an experience. But one thing for me that stood out was the fact that I was really confident, regardless of all of the circumstances, because I came from a very poor background. You could see by your school shoes, school bag, and whatever, but I was still confident and I knew what I wanted. And I had friends that were legit. One thing that I didn't like, and I always look back and I'm like, I wish this was different, was my grade 12. Because we all know, I think it was 2019. Yeah, somewhere there, 2019 or 2020 when I was in grade 12, when COVID happened. So we didn't have a matric dance. And there were so many things that they took away from us, all because of COVID. And I remember there was a period where we didn't go to school like for months. So that really sucked. But yeah, that's my high school life in a nutshell. Yeah, and the subjects that I chose in high school, obviously English, Afrikaans, and then maths, physics, life science, and then the usual life orientation. Yeah, and honestly, I definitely regret taking maths and physics because wow, it wasn't for me. And if I could go back, I would definitely change those two subjects because the course that I'm doing didn't really require me to do pure maths and physics. But nonetheless, I chose them, yeah, and I'm here now. And when I came to grade 12, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think I was gonna pass. So I didn't apply to any universities, which was my number one mistake. So when the results came out, I passed with a bachelor's and I'm like, man, I should have applied. So it was already too late by then to apply. So I decided to apply that year for the following year. And I did apply to a couple of universities like UJ, this place, and I think so, Plaiki. But then there was a number of universities that I applied for. Because you can never be too sure. You can never apply at just one university. And yeah, long story short, I got accepted and I chose NWU because UJ rejected me, but it's fine. We're here now. So the course I'm studying is psychology, and when you do psychology, you realize there's a lot of different directions you can go in. But the one that I chose personally is clinical psychology. Yeah, and it's a 7-year process, literally, and this is only year 2, so I still have a long way to go. But the good thing about me is that I know that this is what I really want, so I'm not going to stop at anything to achieve that. So yeah, clinical psychology is the direction I want to go in. What inspired me? Honestly, from grade 9, I've known for a fact that I wanted to be a psychologist. So what inspired me to become a clinical psychologist is the fact that I've encountered so many traumatic experiences, and it always made me wonder, like, why do some people turn out the way they do? Why do some people become murderers and rapists, pedophiles, stuff like that? And why do some people, go the other direction, even though both of them went through the same experiences, both of them had really hard lives? And when you do psychology, you get to dig into the mind and figure out what happened to people, figure out why they are depressed, figure out why certain mental issues yeah, are there. And that's something that's really interesting to me. I really like to dig deep into people and find out what makes them tick. So yeah, psychology is for me. um, what are the requirements? So basically, I know the minimum that they require, your APA score should at least be 24. And then, your languages like English and Afrikaans should be at least good. And then you can have maths, lit, and those things. But yeah, have a minimum of 24 APA score. And then, yeah, you're going to take 7 years to get there. A whole 7 years. But it's worthwhile. Okay, and coming to Northwest University, I don't know, I expected a lot. I thought it was going to be somewhat like Joburg, the fast life and all those things. But then I came this side and it was a total different case. It was quiet. Oh, I don't know. It wasn't what I expected. But anyway, I got used to it and it's fine. And I think I'm glad that I came this side because maybe Joburg would have been a bad influence on me because you know how small town girls can get when they see the fast life and then yeah. So maybe Mafikeng was good for me. Uh, the challenges that I came across. Okay, so last year was my first year, and then I bought the small laptop. It was actually a second hand. Worst mistake of my life. So I don't know. It ended up breaking in the first 2 months. So the challenge for me was having a laptop. So when it came to doing assignments and stuff like that, I literally had to go to campus, and we stay about 15 to 25 minutes away from campus. So I had to go to campus, do my work there, and just pray that there's no load shedding, because on campus, when load shedding happens, all of your work disappears. And it actually happened once. I remember I was doing an assignment. I was almost finished. I went to my referencing list thingy, and then load shedding happened. All of my work was gone, and the assignment was due later that day. So yeah, it was just a mess, and I had to go through that for like the whole year. So yeah, that was my challenge, I guess. And also adapting to the new life, being away from your family, because I'm very close to my family. So coming this side was a bit of I don't know, a bit of a hassle, adapting, and yeah. And the worst part was when one of my family members passed away last year. I was during exams, I couldn't go back, but then and you had to pretend like everything is fine and still focus on your academics. So that part was, yeah, it was challenging, but we move because you have to get that back, right? So yeah. um, to I can show you. Okay, so what I do to make sure that I stay on track with my school is when I wake up, you know, you always have to be motivated and remind yourself that you at varsity for a reason. So even if you don't feel like going to classes, you don't feel like studying for the test, you don't feel you don't even feel like waking up, you have to constantly remind yourself that okay, I don't have a great background like other people, and I came to varsity so that I can at least make a better life for myself and my future family and my family back home. So always remind yourself what you came here for, and yeah, take it from there. And with procrastination, I feel like that's a demon we all have to face. So I'm not the best person to give advice when it comes to procrastination because I do that a lot. But there's also a time where I remind myself that no, you can't do this. You have to stay focused. And then, by all means, I try to wake up and do stuff that I have to do, and give myself a limit. Like before the end of the week, I should finish this task, that task, and take it from there. But yeah, I do procrastinate a little. So yes. So dating in varsity. Personally, I think it's a 50-50. It can either be negative or it can be positive depending on the type of person you are and the type of person you meet. So let's say if you meet someone who's as motivated as you, and you both know what you want and you're both gonna make the right sacrifices, then by all means you can date in varsity, because you're gonna know that it's time to study. So we'll take 1 hour of the day to spend time with each other, and the rest we dedicate it to our academics. But if you meet a hot-headed person who just wants to see you 24/7, doesn't care about his academics, goes to groove every single day, then it's definitely gonna have a negative impact on your academics. So one tip that I can give you guys is just choose wisely, get to know the person first, and if they're gonna be an asset and benefit your life in a positive way, but then by all means go for it. But if it's the other way around, please don't test the waters. Don't try to get burned. And lastly, word of advice for someone who wants to be a psychologist. My advice would be sure that that's what you want. Be sure that you really and truly want to become a psychologist. Because if you are passionate about it, you are gonna, go through those 7 years like it's nothing, and you're gonna try by all means possible to achieve that. But if it's just some backup thing, you don't really know what you want, then it's not gonna go well for you. I don't think you're gonna perform well academically, and you're gonna be depressed if you eventually do become a psychologist because that's not what you want. But yeah, put your heart in it, and then you can be whatever you want to be. Thank you.